All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. We're about to see silly stuff. We're about to see silly stuff. We're going to watch it together because it's better when we watch it together. Before I get into that, you guys know the deal. Subscribe. Appreciate that. Hit that notification bell. And today is Prime Day. So you can buy yourself a TV and then use my links so the channel makes a little bit of money. I definitely appreciate that. You guys are just fantastic. All right, let's do this. So there you are out there working hard so your children can go to college. And then they meet a guy like this. They really meet a guy like this that just shares silly stuff. Make sure you subscribe to the Jarhead 6 Ride channel where I ride my motorcycle. But again, here's the man. Here's the man that is going to push the propaganda that white people are so bad. They are so bad. They are out there attacking you. Attacking you. Wow. I spent 11 years, 5 months, and 20 days in the military. Primarily, I mean, I don't know exactly the percentage of, but majority of the military is white. I did just fine. Really didn't ever feel that people were trying to do horrific things to me. And I was pretty successful in the military. Made it to the rank of staff sergeant before I got hurt. But again, this is the stuff that they push you. Now, the military, at least back then, I don't know now, didn't, give you this type of conversation. They didn't go like, the white man is bringing you down. The military tells you got to work. You got to work hard. You want to get promoted? You need to be the fastest guy in your physical fitness test, right? So you can win that meritorious promotion board, right? You have to work hard. The military didn't never told me anything like, oh, we are oppressing you. No, they told me to work hard, and it worked out pretty good. But here we have the propaganda machine. This is why children are in debt 50, 60, 100, $300,000, and then they want you, taxpayer, to pay their bills. You go through this silly stuff, and then you want me to pay your bill for college? Absolutely not. That's just a silly conversation. But let's zoom in here, and let's listen to this guy. Let's listen to the propaganda and the hate and the attacks that they have pushed against the white man.
And so what I find is that those kinds of ideas are really silencing. So if you're sitting in a group and you're sort of pissed, it's like, Sam shouldn't have done this, and he shouldn't have done that, and he should approach this differently, and he shouldn't talk about these issues like that, and he's making people feel uncomfortable, and he's all these things, and you're white, what's actually happening is you're lifting yourselves up, right? Like you're lifting up. Because what you're doing by doing that is...
So let's get this straight. One of you guys are white. Somebody here in the comments is white. I'm Hispanic, an immigrant. Came to this country at the age of 14. I had to learn English. So if you say an issue at work, if you mention something at work, what you're doing is elevating yourself above everybody else because you happen to be white. But if I say the same thing, same words, I repeat the same thing word by word that you say, then it's okay. Then the issue could be brought into question and into a conversation because I'm Hispanic. According to this, right? That is silly. That is so. This is just idiots. This is people that are educated. This is people that make a lot of money. This is people that just are PhDs and masters and bachelors, right? Insane. What you're doing is that you're lifting yourself above people. Let's continue.
Silencing a conversation that we need to have. Oh, don't talk about these issues. Oh, don't talk about them like that. Well, how do we talk about them?
So, in other words, you could be BLM. You could go and burn down a community. You could go and do horrific things. You could go and steal, destroy. Kind of like the definition of what the devil does in in this place, right? He's out there to steal and destroy. You could attack people, which, by the way, if I be a black person, I will be insulted by now, because now we know years later. This is what we know. This is straight up what we know. I've been talking about this for quite some time. This is what we know about BLM. They destroy our community. Michael Brown's dad, right? Everybody know Michael Brown in Ferguson, was asking, where's the money? He was like, where's the money? Can we get $20 million? Excuse me, can we get $20 million out of that $90 million? So again, BLM destroy the community. Michael Brown's dad is asking for $20 million. Breonna Taylor, another high case, right? Mom is like, if BLM walks into this room, they don't even know who I am. This is facts. This is them talking about this, right? So, and then ultimately, the BLM leader had to step down because apparently, she likes to buy very expensive houses in white communities. We know that already, right? If you donated money to them, you should be a little bit upset by now. It was just a group that went out there to create destruction and really didn't do anything for the black community. Really hasn't done anything for the minority communities. Really not. The only thing that they did was destruction. And apparently some people made a lot of money. Some people made tons of money with your donation. You should be upset about it, right? So again, in other words, according to this, if you want to bring a situation or a conversation, if a minority wants to say, well, people being attacking me and they're being racist towards me, then the conversation could be brought into the table, and you better not say anything, because what you're doing is stopping that conversation if you happen to be white. But if you are white and you continue to get attacked by the left and they continue to attack you and your family and your children, and you speak, then what you're doing is that you're stopping a conversation. Well, that's kind of like a one-way conversation. Like, you know what I'm saying? If I happen to be white, which I'm not, obviously, but if I happen to be white, I cannot defend myself. That kind of goes against the principles of this country. I should be able to defend myself. But you can, because what you're doing, according to this very intelligent professor here, is that you're stopping the conversation. Well, that's kind of silly if you ask me, but again, what can you expect?
Yeah, but don't start calling people out and pointing out their skin color. Oh, really? What should we do then? Oh, we shouldn't talk about skin color.
Well, if we have an issue with somebody, we should talk about the issue that we have with somebody. If you're calling me something that I'm not, I should be able to talk to you about the issue that I have with you. If I have an issue at work, I should be able to talk to the guy. Look, man, this is not working out. Can we do something to resolve this issue? Does the skin color has anything to do with that? No, absolutely not. If I'm at work and you're doing a bad job, if I'm doing something wrong, and my boss comes down and goes like, hey, Fabian, check it out, man. You've been doing this, but I like you to do it this way. Right? And my first response to that is like, well, you targeted me because I'm Hispanic. And no, that may not be necessarily 100% true. There may be a case or a chance that could happen to anyone. By the way, to anyone. I have experienced white people being racist towards me, by the way. I have. I also have experienced black people being racist towards me. I have witnessed very many Hispanics being racist. I mean, that is something that happens in every race. And by the way, some people say that minorities cannot be racist. Of course they can be. Of course. And then the other argument is like, well, they cannot be because they're not in power. Really? The president of the United States happened to be a black man at one point. The vice president of the United States happened to be a woman of color. So you're telling me that minorities cannot be in positions of power? That's silly. But again, you know what? If your first reaction is simple, like, well, it's because my skin color, maybe it's not. 9 out of 10, I'm going to say it's not. 9 out of 10, I'm going to say that, you know what? No, dude. You simply are not doing the job the right way, and you need to do it this way. And we need to address that. To go back to the race car every single moment, for every single issue, to me, is pretty ignorant. Really is. And it's kind of sad. You know, as a Hispanic man, I don't want to go there. That's kind of sad. I could, do things. I don't need to be like, oh, poor me. Oh, poor me. Don't be mean to me. I mean, that's just sad, in my opinion.
Oh, I get it. Oh, let's not talk about hair. Let's not talk about anything. Let's not talk about people for whom English is not their first language. Let's not talk about accents.
Oh, well, okay. Well, that's me right there. Right, that's me. Here's the deal. Are you ready for this? You come to the United States to learn how to speak English. Learn how to speak English. That's just how it is. You've been in this country 30 years and you're still having issues. You need to learn. Take classes. Many places you could go and take classes. I had to learn a different language. And I tell this to my mom all the time, by the way. Spanish is my first language. And I had to tell my mom many times, Mom, maybe you need to take some classes. And I think she did at one point. And my mom speaks, if you talk to her, she'd be able to communicate with you. Obviously she has a very thick accent, way worse than me. But she may be able to communicate with you. But you know what? Some of these people that come here and they don't expect you, or they don't expect to learn the English language, is ridiculous. You come to this country, a country that is going to give you a better life, a country that is going to give you opportunity, and the first thing that you want to do is refuse to speak the language or try to learn how to speak the language. That's insane. Now, I get it. Some people can make fun of you for, speaking funny and things like that. I get it. It happens to me every day here on YouTube. Well, not every day no more, but every now and then here. Somebody blasts me and make fun of me. Happens all the time if I want to say that. But you know what? Let it go. Continue with your life. Stop being so sensitive. We're living a life of freaking sensitive Sallys. Everybody gets offended about something. But yeah, you know what? If you come to the United States, learn how to speak English. That's just how it goes, right?
And dialects and all sorts of things. Let's not talk about anything. Let's just pretend that nothing exists. And then when we pretend that nothing exists, power doesn't ever move. Power stays the same. In the world of race, what it means is white people continue to be empowered because white people never have to look in the mirror and say, wow, what's going on? We don't have to wrestle. We don't have to engage. How is it to know that you're walking around with that kind of benefit, that kind of affirmative action?
Well, I don't want to,
Listen to this kid. This kid is just... Wow, this white power thing is just an excuse for minority to give themselves an excuse. You do realize that. If we say that you have a power that we don't have, it gives us the ability to have an excuse, right? Well, I can't get that job because I don't have white privilege. Well, I couldn't get that degree because I don't have white privilege. Well, I can't get that because I'm not white. It's just an excuse for us. We essentially have created this thing to give ourselves an excuse. It's that simple. Really, that simple. It's ridiculous. I work with white people that have to work hard. I witnessed many white people that have to work hard. They have to work as hard as us. Why there is more white people in some other positions? Because there's more white people. Really is. You know why? When the population is bigger as white, obviously, you're going to see more white people in different positions. But again, it's just an excuse. But I like this kid because this kid, his answer is quite funny in a way because he had no idea what to say. What do? You're walking with that power, with that privilege. Spider-Man. Hey, Spider-Man, how does it feel to be Spider-Man walking around with the power to do those things? And he's like, I just don't know.
I guess this could be all tied into the idea of white privilege and everything, and I guess it's just I don't think it should be true. It's crazy. I don't really know what to think of it, but it is what it I don't know. I don't want to say it is what it is, but it doesn't seem like the statistic it's not changing. It's I don't know.
It's like I just I don't know, just like I don't know, just like I got myself into $300,000 in debt to come to this university, and like I don't know. That's why he said.
So it's confusing.
Yeah, it's confusing.
It shouldn't be that way,
Yeah,
and yet it is that way.
yeah. It's,
And yet you're gonna, when you get your degree,
Listen
when
to
they
this.
hang you your degree, bro, here's Tim. Here's your Timothy. What's your last name? Eimer. So they're gonna call your name out, and you're gonna walk across the stage, and it's gonna be Timothy Eimer, and you're gonna walk across the stage, and you're gonna shake a hand. Here, you take that. You're gonna shake the hand, and then you're gonna get the degree. You're gonna like, yeah. And your parents are going to cheer or whatever, and you're going to have this degree, and you're going to think, oh yeah, I fully earned the degree. I got it. And I deserve this, and I deserve everything that comes to it. Yeah, well, you know what? What's your last name, bro? Davis? Dude, Miles Davis?
So you do realize that he's kind of saying that, you got your degree and all that, and it's essentially not because you came to school. It's not because you work hard. It's not because you were accepted to the university. It's not because you got good grades. It's none of those things. It's essentially because you're white. That's why you got that degree, right? And you really don't deserve it. It was your privilege that got you that degree. What's in your good grades? I wonder if I could do an experiment. Like, if I be white, I just go to school, I fail every class, and at the end of that, I get my degree. No. It's
Same thing. Miles Davis. And Miles is going to walk across the stage, and he's going to have the same thing. He's going to get the degree and shake a hand and go like, yeah, and his family's going to cheer. And everyone's going to be like, you're going to be at graduation, and you're going to assume that these two guys are equal, and they're not equal.
You hear that? They're not equal. Wow. That's how he ended up his video. These two guys are going to go to college, and you're going to assume they're equal, and they're not equal. Wow. That is, ladies and gentlemen, that is the nonsense that your children are learning in school. And I wanted to bring it up here so you could see it. This is the reason why they're putting themselves in $100,000 to $200,000 in debt. To learn division and to learn hate. Last time I checked, God made us on His image. This is silly stuff, and this is dangerous stuff, because as they come out of there, guess what they're going to do? They're going to continue to push this agenda to the children, to generations, and what they are creating is a curse upon their families. Let me know what you think. Put comments down below, and as always, God is in control.